Are you ready to move your career forward? Make your comeback with Purdue Global and get college credit for your work, school, life, or military experiences. With these credits, you may have already completed up to 75% of your undergraduate degree. You've worked hard to get where you are. It's time to get the recognition you deserve and earn a degree you'll be proud of, one that employers will trust and respect. When you take the next step in your life and career, make it count with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
He'll forget about the video game you gave him on his birthday.
Wow! Thanks, Grandpa!
But he'll never forget how you invested in his future with the UNest app.
Wow. Thanks, Grandpa.
The UNest app makes it easy for grandparents and family friends to give funds to a child's investment account. For a limited time, download the UNest app and use the code IHEART50 at sign-up to receive a $50 bonus when you fund your account. That's code IHEART50 when you sign up at unest.co for a $50 bonus. See terms and conditions at unest.co.
Hello. From Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month we're talking about folk heroes, women whose lives and stories took on mythic proportions. Today we're talking about one of Mexico's most daring bandits. Riding bareback and cloaked in men's clothes, she used a pistol and machete to steal from passing travelers, and then redistribute the wealth to the poor. Please welcome Leonard Emilia. Leonardo was born among cacti and mesquite trees in La Punta, a village close to the capital of the Mexican state, Querétaro. Not much is known about Leonardo's early life. Some historians believe she grew up poor. Others think she came from a wealthy family. Seems like every person in the state has their own version of the story. One rumor that is widely believed: Leonardo fell in love with a French soldier during the Second French Empire's invasion of Mexico in the 1860s. Their love affair was cut short when he was imprisoned by the Juarista army and condemned to death. Heartbroken and desperate, Leonardo appealed for clemency to the governor, and then to the president. Both refused the request. So she vowed to avenge him, transforming into the bandit that would soon turn the region upside down, La Carambada. The dusty highways of Mexico were filled with gangs of thieves during this period of history. In other countries, like Spain, trains and stagecoaches could buy travelers insurance to ensure safe travels. In Mexico, no such regulations existed. If you were lucky, you could buy safe passage from the first robber you passed on the road. Otherwise, teams of bandits were often stealing money and valuables from travelers, robbing haciendas and snatching shipments of gold and silver in transit. But La Carambada was more notable than the other common bandits. She disguised herself as a man and rode her horse without a saddle through the hills and mountain ranges of central Mexico. She smartly targeted civilian stagecoaches, which were less likely than supply trains to have security guards. When she got close to her targets, she brandished her pistol or machete. She told her victims to stay put and comply, or else face her team of bandits waiting in the nearby woods. In reality, her waiting gang members were corncobs lit at the tip to look like glowing cigarettes, implying the presence of threatening cronies. Before she rode away, loot in hand, she flashed her breasts and declared, "Look who robbed you," rubbing it in the unsuspecting victim's face. Not only was he robbed, but he was robbed by a woman. Alarmed and frustrated, her victims muttered, "Ay caramba." That's how La Carambada got her name. Stories of La Carambada and her heists captivated the region. Lampposts were plastered with wanted posters, promising bounties for her capture, while her name was blazoned across the top of newspapers, not just in Mexico, but in other countries too. Articles in American newspapers reported La Carambada using different tactics to secure her loot. According to these reports, she lured men out of their carriages and shot them dead. Then she'd bribe the driver to keep quiet and drive her back to her gang. Later, La Carambada escalated to abducting wealthy landowners. Her gang would negotiate his ransom, while she moved on to luring her next victim. Eventually, La Carambada took on a slightly different crime, one not for money but for love. She exacted revenge on those responsible for the death of her lover. La Carambada was invited to a dinner party hosted by the president of the Supreme Court. To him, she was a pretty woman, a lovely addition to his room of impressive guests. But La Carambada had her own reason for being there: to kill President Benito Juarez. When he wasn't looking, she snuck 20 drops of a slow-acting poison into his glass of champagne. 21 days later, he died of a heart attack. La Carambada finally met her end in 1873. She was targeting a well-known wealthy landowner when one of her gang members ratted her out to the police. They found La Carambada and a shootout ensued. Shots whizzed and pinged in both directions. 5 struck the female bandit. The authorities thought she was dead and slung her body over the back of a mule. Miraculously, she was still alive and survived for 3 days in the hospital before passing away. Right before her death, she confessed her long list of crimes and sins to a priest. But legends never die, and this legend still captivates residents of Querétaro to this day. La Carambada is a subject in many local historic tours. Many historians and locals remember her with a certain fondness. She wasn't a mean-spirited criminal. Her illegal actions were a means to altruistic ends. She took from the rich and gave to the poor in an act of defiance against a corrupt government. All month, we're talking about folk heroes. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow.
How long was Neil Armstrong actually on the moon? When did Europe start speaking English? Did Marco Polo really go to China? CuriosityStream is the streaming service for all things history, plus science, wildlife, and more. What's the real story behind the Mona Lisa? We've got that. What caused the collapse of Rome? We know. Where did we find mankind's earliest ancestor? Come find out. From Egypt to Einstein, CuriosityStream is the place for history. With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find one for you at curiositystream.com.
Now is the time to experience America's pastime in a whole new way. Major League Baseball has teamed up with T-Mobile for Business to advance the game with next-gen 5G solutions, going deeper with real-time data visualization, new camera angles that put fans on the field with their favorite players, and even testing an automated ball strike system in the minor leagues. This is the 5G era of baseball. See what we can do for your business at T-Mobile.com/now. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Officially licensed product of MLB Players Incorporated.
The Children of Heroes Charity Fund needs your help to support the thousands of Ukrainian children who've lost one or both parents due to the Russian invasion. A monthly donation of just $12 can provide medical insurance for a child who has lost a parent. To donate, visit childrenheroes.org/help. That's childrenheroes.org/help. Children of Heroes. Urgent help for Ukrainian children today for a brighter tomorrow.